call to order and establish that we have a quorum. Looks like we do. And if everyone else is ready, we can get started. The time is 1:31 on the 9th of January, 2023 of the Zoning Board of Adjustments meeting. We have a agenda here today with quite a few items on them, and I'd like to welcome everyone that's here and hope things go your way. If not, don't hold it against me or any of the board members here. But anyway, let's see, review and take any action related to the minute records of the regular meeting held on Monday, November the 7th of 2022. That was a long time ago. Anybody have any questions on the minutes? There being none, I need a motion.
Motion to approve.
Need a second? Second. Need a vote? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any nays? No nays. Okay, item number 3, it's election time. Yay. Now, I'm going to need some guidance on this from staff because we don't do this often, once a year.
Yeah.
And I didn't take my notes from last year. I didn't bring them. So somebody lead the way from staff on what I'm supposed to do.
In this case, since we're voting on chairperson first, if you want to pass the gavel to the vice chair, he can run the election of the chairperson, and then it'll shift to the chairperson.
Okay, so I pass it over to the vice chairman?
Yes, sir.
I'm passing it over to the vice chairman. Mr. Vice Chairman, it's all yours.
All right, election of chairperson. Do we have any volunteers that would like to be chairperson?
Hey, y'all don't get
Do
too
we have
excited.
anybody that?
Come on.
Do we have anybody that wants to nominate anybody for chairperson?
He was volunteering, I swear.
Anybody in the audience want to be up here?
What all is
Oh,
involved?
you wouldn't believe the pay.
I could have sworn you told me last time that you wanted to be chairperson.
Is the current chairperson willing to stay?
At this moment in time, yes.
Are there
Since
any
there's no
other
one else jumping
nominations
up
for
and down to do it.
chairperson? Nominations are closed. Let's have a vote. All in favor of Gary staying as chairman? Say aye.
Aye.
Any
Nay.
opposed?
Nay.
You lose.
Oh, can I vote? No, I don't. Yes, I
I
can.
pass it back to you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Don. All right, here we go with the next one. That was quick.
Easy.
Huh? Did get all the minutes and stuff on that? We're good?
We're good.
All right, number 4, election of vice chairperson. So I guess the vice chairman sits out on this one too. He's not gonna run it. You're out. I guess that leaves it up to me. All right, anyone want to be vice chairman? Look at all jump up and down.
I'll throw my name in the hat.
You will throw your name in the hat. All right, we have one. No? Dietrich? Paul? Stephanie? Aaron? All right, we have a democracy going here. We have now what? We vote?
15 different times. Please, not again, not again.
Usually we don't have somebody that wants to jump up and,
Probably want to get a second on the nomination.
oh, okay. We have a nomination from Julie Epperson,
I will second it.
and we have a second. And we need to vote, all in favor for the nomination, right? Then we vote for between the
No,
two.
it's voting for the vice chair.
Yeah.
No?
Oh, well, hold
Yeah,
on,
so-
what if Don wants it?
No, Don doesn't.
Don doesn't want it.
Well, we can take multiple motions. If it fails, then you can make
Don
another
did
nomination.
Don did it, okay, all right. All right, we have a motion from Julie Epperson to be vice chair. Let's have a vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Welcome, Julie. You got out of that easy. That was set up.
I know.
All right. Sherry's walking up to the podium. We have all that done and good and official and yay. There's attorneys over here, you know, we gotta get this right.
One attorney.
Okay, we're going to item number 5, if everyone's ready. ZBA 22-23, 1011 East 40th Street, Shriners Point subdivision, single-member district number 2, Tom Thompson. A request for approval of a variance from section 502.B of the zoning ordinance to allow for a 5-foot setback in lieu of a required 25-foot setback, front setback on the side frontage on all double frontage lots located southwest of East 40th Street and, is that Bloom or Blum? Blum?
Blum.
Street.
Yes.
Blum? All right, Ms. Sherry, it's all yours.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I want to give you a little bit of history about this piece of property. In 2019, there was a request and it was granted to rezone this property to RM2. The intent at that time was apartments. It was a large apartment complex. The surrounding property owners came out in force against it. City Council approved it anyway. We had a number of surrounding property owners that were not happy with that. It was not built. The property was sold. The development now is intended as single-family homes, and it is going to the Planning Commission on January 23rd to rezone it from the RM2 to the RS1 for single-family homes. I've had a number of calls from the surrounding property owners, all of them at first inquisitive on what the variance meant. Then when they heard it was going to be single family, they were all in support that I talked to. We did send out 37 notices to property owners, and we received 10 letters back saying that they were in support of the variance.
In support of?
The variance?
Okay.
Yes. This is the approved preliminary plat for Shriners. You can see the layout of all of the lots. So there are a number of lots where, small blocks where there are 5 or 6 lots, where all of the lots except for 2 back up to the lots on the other side. So it is those lots that are on the end that the applicant is asking for a variance on those side lot lines. Our ordinance now says that when you are a corner lot, you have 2 front yards. So there's 25-foot setback on both what we would consider the normal front yard and then on the side front yard. This application and these homes are considered affordable homes, and so the applicant is asking for the variance on the side. We have, in the past, approved a number of variances for those side lot lines, particularly when they back up to the lot on the back side, so that there isn't a lot on the other side. We have 2 lots, and the lot 22 that I'm pointing at is indicative of most of the lots that are in this layout. They are asking for the 25-foot front yard on the street side, and then on the side yard, to take it to 5 foot on that street side. No, on all 20 of the lots that have that configuration that you see in front of you, where each lot backs up to another lot. We have 2 lots, and I apologize that it's fuzzy, but there was no way for me to get it to do any different and actually show it, this lot. But lot number 15, and I have on there the list of the other lot. There are 2 lots on here that back up to the side yard of the lot that is faced to the street where they are asking for the variance. And because of that, staff, when we had our meeting, with the applicant, looked at it, came up with the suggestion that we would like to see as a condition, a triangle, site triangle, if you will, that's a no-build area that would be 25-foot triangle from the build line, which would actually make it 30 from the property line, but 25 foot from the build line, in which you could not put a fence, or you could not have your house extend into that area. When looking at some other lots in the Santa Rita area, that seemed to be about the normal layout. And when we talked to the applicant about where they're going to place their house and what their house, the size of the house, we think that would give a sufficient area of sight for anybody who, for instance, built on lot 16, they could still have a driveway and a garage there and still be able to see and not have their sight blocked. So that's why we have made the suggestion for just those two. So staff is recommending to approve the request for the 5-foot setback on those side front yard lots. And then in block 1, lot 15, and block 6, lot 12, to have a no-build 25-foot site triangle on that street side building line. And with that, going through the analysis very briefly, we felt that this redesign, if the applicant had to go back and make sure that every lot had sufficient setback frontage on those side lots, and the 2 lots that we've asked for the no-build area, that it would be a dramatic redesign of it, and the lots would have to be much larger, and we would lose that benefit of affordable housing in this area, and we really like to support affordable housing. Minimum action, we believe that the action that we are supporting as staff is the minimum action that would allow them to do their development as they want to and still safeguard the public and meet the needs of the development. And we believe that the granting of this variance will not adversely affect any of the surrounding homes in that area. And Section 104.2 of the zoning ordinance states that the purpose of the ordinance is to protect the character and establish the pattern of development in that area. And we believe that this application and granting that follows those guidelines. So with that, are there any questions?
Any questions for Sheriff?
One.
Yes.
I have one.
When you were talking about the 2 areas of triangle that you want to set aside, did the applicant or the builder have any reaction?
We talked to the applicant's representative, and they agreed that they would support that.
So does that mean on those 2 lots, they're basically not building a house?
No, it means on those 2 lots, they're just not going to be able to have a fence that goes all the way to their backyard on that corner, but it should not affect the building of the house at all.
So the house can still have but the house on that corner has to have a 25-foot setback still?
It has it on the front yard, but it would have only the 5-foot
The 5
setback
on
on
the
the
side.
side. Right.
Okay.
Any more questions before I start?
Just out of curiosity, when you say affordable housing, do we know what price range we're looking at when they say affordable housing?
I don't know the price range. The lots, the building size that we were given was 1,450 to 1,600 square feet.
Is the average size of these lots 50 by 100?
That's what our ordinance requires.
Okay.
If they wanted privacy, since they can't build a fence, would they have to petition to do that? Like, say if the house was built and they want to put in a pool?
If they can build a fence, they just can't build a fence that extends into that corner piece, that 25 foot. So what it would do would give a triangle that's not fenced in you know, hopefully they would landscape that, et cetera. But they could have a fence at that point without a problem.
Okay.
Do we have any idea who's building these homes?
We don't at this time.
Any more questions? Explain into more detail, the aesthetic purposes of having the 25-foot setback on the front and the side on corner lots. There's more to it than aesthetic purposes, isn't there? Because if you had an alley back behind there, you could have,
We used to have alleys,
Yeah.
yes, then that was one of the primary concerns that we had. Obviously, this development does not have an alley, and we haven't been overly encouraging alleys in recent development unless it's a large lot development. But I think you're right, Gary. I think that was the primary purpose behind it.
well, it's a line of sight for traffic too, isn't it? How deep is the depth of those corner lots? I couldn't see on the plat. What's the depth?
It's 50 by 100, which
And then,
is,
and then you take out the setbacks? Or that's the building?
no, that is the total lot size, yes, then your
So
setback
50
is
by
in.
100, it would be 25 by 100 to build on?
25 by 95, yeah.
25 by 75?
Yeah, the preliminary plat that was approved at Planning Commission last month says they're about 110 to 115 feet deep on those corner lots. So they're a little deeper than our normal.
Well, that's what I was
So
asking.
it gives them
So
just a little bit more space to build and to
100
have
100
backyards.
So they're going to be 115?
Yes.
Okay, so that side setback's still going to leave them with 25 on that one side, so that'd be like a patio home effect or mobile home effect or something right there.
Right, and remember, we do have the right of way that normally runs about 5
Yeah, so
foot.
it's gonna be
So
like
it's
30
going to be
feet.
10 foot back from the
So-
street.
35 feet? So it's gonna be a total of 35 feet?
It's probably going to be 5 if it's a new street, 4.6 or something like that. 50-foot right away?
5 to 6 foot, normally, yes.
So does the applicant have a special type house they want to put on the corner lots? Or is it
I-
just random?
I do not know at this point.
I'm concerned about the line of sight on traffic. Traffic's bad enough as it is, and, you know, I'm not gonna hold up progress, but it is a problem.
Sherry, could you pull up the slide that has the preliminary plat on there, that they can see the whole layout?
And I'm not real, you were worried about a fence, I'm worried about line of sight. So you're only gonna allow them to bring the fence up so far? Is that what that triangle's about?
That's what the triangle is mainly intended to, because most people put their fence on their property line, or close to it. The lot that,
Well, you can put it on whatever setback line we give them, you can put it, restrict it to that setback
Right.
line.
the,
Sure.
whoops, I'm
Right,
sorry,
so it's gonna
Gary.
go, that's what I'm trying to figure out. It's gonna go from, they have the normal 5 and then an additional 25 feet.
This one,
So
Yeah, they count the,
and where's the other one?
right of way when it's gonna be.
Just south and to the right of that, little, keep going up
If
now.
it was a
to-
40-foot right of way, we'd have some wiggle room, but it's brand new, we don't have any wiggle room.
Lot, I thought
Lot
lot
12, see, straight down.
I can't read it. I see it, I don't know why it's not in here.
right here,
Yeah.
yeah. It's this corner also. Those are the two corners.
So there's not a lot of traffic going?
There's not going to be a lot
Because they're
of
kind of
traffic,
tucked
no.
into.
Correct, that's why we wanted you to see
Yeah.
that visual, that that's
Well,
not.
not now,
Not-
how many lots are in there?
Thethe's 137 lots in
Well, when
there.
it's developed, there'll be a lot of traffic.
It
but
could be, could be.
It could be,
Oh, well, 130, two people have 2 cars. That's 260 cars.
yeah. There won't be traffic, obviously, from this size because those are large lot homes, and I don't anticipate those are going to develop. But this area down here will probably develop into home sites.
Where's the main egress gonna be, ingress to that area gonna be?
It's going to be Bloom up here.
Okay. Mm-hmm. That's gonna be the way in, where's the way out?
This will be the main way out as that develop, and
So there's not a way out until that develops?
Until, he also owns this property, I believe, down here.
That's correct, Chairman Cortez, and they are doing this in phases. They are doing just 20 lots first as the upper phase and see where that development goes. As you know, then the fire marshal has some rules of basically of how many lots and how far distance and stuff, but they are aware of the southern portion. It's going to be critical for them for connections of infrastructure of water and sewer as well as streets, because that whole area from 40th to the south, there's not really any water sewer connections except in Armstrong to the east and then back over to the west on that 39th. You kind of see the horseshoe area. And so that's going to be the biggest challenge for them is making those utility connections and street connections through there.
Is there any grant money for that?
They are going to be seeking some infill dollars for that, is what we understand. They have not made an application yet, but they are looking at that.
So the 20 double frontage lots are only going 5 feet on the sides, but those
Yes.
two are looking at a 35-foot setback
The-
overall.
The, the two will have that 25-foot visibility in their back corner.
And
the other
it'll
one's
the
only
street
be,
sides.
it'll only be a triangle, so that whole side will not be 35 feet
Right.
back. It'll be that back property line. In this case, if you look at lot 15 coming down Bloom, it will have a triangle there at the back southwest corner that's 25 feet. That would be a no-build. They could still build their driveway there, but they wouldn't build anything tall so that the adjacent lot backing out can see down the road as they're
Gotcha.
backing out in case somebody's coming down the road.
Single structure.
So what is
Could
the,
you quickly draw something real quick? Pass it around? I mean, y'all came up, is it in here in our packet?
I don't know.
Is it? Okay. Let me look at that real quick.
It is
I quickly looked and I couldn't find it.
Page 8.
8.
48 from the first one, series 6.
So the intent for the setback is to allow a consistent and conforming development, so that you don't have one house setback oddly as opposed to the others. The condition that staff is asking for addresses your concern, Mr. Cortez, hopefully, in providing a side triangle, so as if you imagine pulling up to the intersection, you'd be able to see either way for a good distance.
Is that on the front? What's that parking lot in the front there? What is that? There's a parking lot there? Red area is a new 20 by 6, oh, that's a handicap. Did you say,
I-
page 8?
Page 8.
Okay.
what is page 8? Is that page 8?
Page 8 of 48, yeah, of the first one that she sent.
Yeah, the first email. Are you in the first email?
I think so.
The
Go back
first
and find
email, I
that.
think, was Tuesday.
Right.
Do you have it on your PowerPoint?
I don't. Let me see what you're looking
That piece, I'm looking at that one.
at. Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the same thing with the preliminary plat, Gary, but because you're looking at it on your
Kindle.
piece, yeah, you can move it up and down and see the size, etc.
I'm not fancy. I don't have an Apple.
Pass that around.
Yeah, I was about to say, I was like, oh, but hers is probably easier to see on her iPad.
Can't
We don't
afford
have to
an
get back
Apple.
to them. So,
You're the chair, right?
okay, now I'm confused. So, I thought the triangle thing was only for that house that sits, so that that house, if they backed out of their driveway, they would be able to see around the house.
I think it's for two.
It is in the back corner of the lot, so it would be
It would be-
the left-hand corner down at the bottom. It would be that triangle.
So, that's only for the two that have.
Only for the two.
So that would be for the lot behind it, lot 16. I'm looking at lot 15, the corner, it faces Blum. And lot 16's behind it, so that's where the triangle's gonna be?
It's going to be on lot 16. That is the
Right,
one
and you're gonna
that
match it
wants,
up with 25 feet on lot 16, how far are you gonna come into lot 15 with it, with the triangle?
it's not coming into lot 15. It's only going to be on that lot 16.
The 15's the corner lot, though.
No, 15's the
Oh,
corner. The triangle has to be on 15.
just a second. It,
Yeah, 15.
whoops, maybe, if I, okay.
So, board, if I could get y'all to look up there, and you see this lot 15 on probably the left side.
Yes.
This is that.
So it would be from the build line, 25 feet down their property line, then it would diagonal across to 25 feet down the easterly setback line, if that makes sense.
To benefit 16.
To benefit 16,
Backing out of the driveway.
backing out of the
Right.
driveway.
So it's just gonna come at an angle.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah,
Is this the redrawn plat with the 20,
Gotcha.
what setbacks on this plat here, on the side?
It's probably 25 feet is my
Okay, so
guess.
where would the 25 feet go?
the 25 feet would be 5 foot from this property line here, so it would be, the 25 from that corner would be about right there.
So they could put their fence on that, less, whatever. How far back is the triangle gonna go on 15?
It's gonna go 25 foot from the build line
Yeah, back,
back.
this way, toward
Yeah,
Blum.
it'll be
Toward Blum.
25 and 25, and then whatever the diagonal
The di-
would be between them at that corner. In the
So that's
corner between
115 foot deep lot. So there'd be 90 feet. 90 feet they could build, well, still have your back setback, 90 feet of fence, roughly. 90 feet of a building line that's 5 feet.
That's
Right.
correct.
To the 25 foot on front.
That's the right of way.
So roughly, let's see, I'm trying to do the percentages, 20% on backyard,
It depends on how big your house is, so.
Yeah.
no,
Maybe.
backyard. Well, how much, 20% off the out, so you could have 60 feet of fence,
Yeah.
roughly going 5 feet.
Yeah,
And so that 25 foot on front of Blum would be there to stop it.
Right.
So that'd be 25 feet back and then 5 feet over there.
no, but it'll be.
That's tight, that's a line there, well, you know.
So basically, what's
But there's only two lots
It's
of
gonna come
those
like
in that whole
this,
subdivision.
Right.
right?
No,
No, they only
Those
want to
are
do
only
two lots.
two
They want
lots.
to do lot 15 and lot
Oh, okay.
13,
the other
right?
Right.
ones all have only a 5-foot setback. All the corners
Right, right.
are all
Right.
back to 5-foot
But
setbacks,
15
so.
and 13 are the only two.
Lot,
Okay, so y'all
lot
got,
12 and
12.
15.
y'all got concerned with this triangle thing because of the lot behind them?
Correct.
Or the traffic
16.
side?
Well, both.
And you think that solves it?
We think for
Traffic,
the,
I know it solves the one behind it, but the traffic?
for
For-
lot 16, 17 and going down,
Right.
I think you're going to be, and we don't know if that's going to be a four-way
For-
stop there or not yet.
Because they're going to be, for all intents and purposes, going out to get out of the property. And so they're going to be across the street. It's just the backing out that is the concern. And they're going to have 10 feet from the street.
But the 20 other lots that only have a 5-foot setback on the side, there's enough sightline there for everybody if you only have a 5-foot setback on those 20
Yeah.
lots.
Again,
Why have
remember
the
that
or-
there's a
why have the
right-of-way.
ordinance?
Pardon?
Why have the ordinance? Why was the ordinance set at 25? Why on the side? Why can't it be set at 15 or 20 or whatever? Why is 25 the ordinance?
Gary, I don't know that I can answer that at this point because it was done in 1957. I know that we have,
Not that ordinance.
on the double,
Yeah, was it 19?
yeah, it was 1957. We've done we've varianced it, I added up quickly, at least 7 times. New development.
And it does kind of come into your question or statement earlier about, well, we used to always have alleyways,
that's
and so
what's
it
going on
never came into play. And then when you have, if there was an alleyway there, it would automatically be just a 25 on Plum and a 5 on this southerly street.
Which never made sense to me anyway with the alley. What difference does it make, right?
Yeah. So I think that is certainly something we can consider over this next year of items of, well, should we look at that and change that if we're having more developments? Is it an issue? Is it not? And start looking at that. We were trying to find a way to, with these two odd lots out of that whole development, how can we still allow them to develop those corner lots and still be a safe neighborhood for traffic, pedestrians, and everything that's going on there? Fortunately, this street to be named yet that goes east-west is not a through street. Doesn't mean it won't always be that way, but currently it won't be for probably the next 20, 25 years. But we're trying to think of what is the safest thing now where the developer could move forward with a potential variance to our ordinance.
I'm sure that easy on me when I registered.
You have to pick a number.
Like a lottery. Well, okay, so, we're looking at, doing the whole subdivision, getting rid of the 25-foot side setback, except these two here are the triangle part, and that's
Right.
it.
For
And there's
the
20, we're dealing with 20 lots, 20 corner lots.
20 corner lots is the total amount, yes.
How will the, triangle be enforced? Where's that gonna go? On a plat, on a deed? How's the permit?
It's actually going to be on the plat.
Gonna be on the plat?
It will be on the plat, yes. And then we will have a copy in the building department so that when it comes in for a building permit, it'll be associated with those lots. right?
Is there gonna be an easement over there? Utility easement?
There is a utility easement.
Is that 10 foot? So you're gonna let them build over that easement? Put a house over that easement?
No, they can't put a house over that easement. But there shouldn't, there
Well,
wouldn't
they
be a
could-
house.
They could build the house to the 5-foot side setback on that corner, right? If we-
Theoretically, they could, but if there's a utilities in there, they won't be able to.
Well, why do we need to give them all that? Why can't we just go to the easement?
To be honest with you, we haven't seen the utility layout yet. We don't know. We do know
Well,
that.
are we putting the cart before the horse? Did I say that right?
Yes,
I don't know.
Before the cart.
The cart before the horse.
Which came first, chicken or the egg?
The horse pulled the
Yeah.
cart, we're good.
I don't think so.
They did make
Gary.
application for the entire preliminary plat, because they do have a final plat that's going to be heard in front of Planning Commission later this month. So I'm not 100% sure, and Brandon, I might need your advice on this. I don't know, based on how we captioned it and presented it, if you're able to vote on just those lots minus 15 and 12, and make a ruling on those, and then make a discussion on 15 and 12, or is it only, it's the whole thing? Okay, and I kind of thought that. So, you obviously have the ability to say, well, if we've got a 10-foot utility, why don't we just make it 10 foot instead of 5 foot? Because you're right, you're not gonna be able to build in that utility easement that's in there.
Any of them, all
We-
20.
We just don't know if there is or is not a 10-foot utility. There probably will be, since it's new, they like to put the utilities outside from under the roadway, so you're not tearing up roadway.
Well, I'm talking about WT, who are they today? AEP?
AEP.
Yeah, AEP.
I'm talking about AEP, Long, Atmos, and
I would
Southern
imagine,
Link.
you
All
know,
the
where that
third-party groups,
exit
yes.
row is supposed to be, I would imagine that that would have to be utilized as.
Oh, yeah, they're always utilities, everything I've seen. Have you ever done a plat without 10-foot utility easements on property?
A new green space development, usually not. Usually it's some random smaller piece, and we have to
Yeah,
figure something out, so.
very seldom do we show that.
I mean, there's that option of saying, well, let's not do the site triangle, let's just move the property line, or the line to the 10 foot. I mean, for those two lots. Like, y'all have that ability as the zoning board of adjustment to make that decision, if that's the smarter way to go. Because really, I think we're talking about a fence. What is the potential of a fence going in there and blocking the view of 16, 17, people backing out onto that roadway to go down to their next destination?
A fence is a movable object, though, right? It's not.
Right.
especially when you hit it with a
What
car.
about, yeah, storage sheds and stuff like that?
Yeah.
Building the house to the property line, to the building line.
Right, having a
What's
permanent
gonna stop that?
structure is
There's all kinds of scenarios that can play out.
yes.
I'm just worried about the line of sight on traffic. I always have been on that stuff. I mean, you're just blanketing the whole subdivision, giving it the okay, without even knowing where easements are gonna be and layouts and different things like that.
Well, it'd be a 35 foot, right? 5 and 5, and if this side's 10, then that's 15 out of 50.
Right, but on lot 12, they're saying that one is the way of the lot.
I guess, yeah, a setback. I say let them choose a number on the setback. Is
What did I say?
They said lot 12, right here, see? Block 1, lot 15, and block 6, lot 12, to have a no-build 25-foot.
Is anyone here to represent this case? Okay, thank you. Yes.
Are we dealing with lot 12 also, where the yellow is on this?
Not where the yellow is, no.
Okay.
Block 15, block 6, lot 12, to have a no-build.
Lot 1, block 15.
Block 16 is about, it's a full block.
Lot 16 is right behind.
Well, let's move on. Is there an applicant here?
No.
No one's here to represent this. Well, I make a motion, turn it down. And if they're not interested enough to come talk to us about it, then I'm not interested enough to help them out. Must not be a big deal to them. We're wasting time. If they don't want to talk about it, we're wasting time. We need to move on.
Do we have the ability to table it? And wait, and maybe address it next month?
I'd prefer to table it then.
I would prefer to table it as well, and get some more information, and maybe someone come and actually kind of give us a little bit more.
That's why God created mothers.
Is that why?
Yeah.
Okay.
How does this affect the planning meeting? You said it's
Well,
going to planning in January.
Planning has a final plat for the first portion. There are none of the 2 lots that we're talking about that are in that, but there is corner lots.
So
And
if you
that's-
look at the top at 40th Street and where Blum Street comes down, those lots just to the, what would be, if the top is north, that would be to the east. I think that's lot
there.
1, 7, and 11.
It's right, yeah, it's right there.
Those 3 would be considered corner lots.
Y'all need to go back to the drawing board and redo it and understand our concerns about line of sights and things like that. Are the rest of the lots 50, 55 feet through there?
Yes.
I didn't hear your
Are the
question.
rest of the lots and,
Are 50 foot?
50 foot, they're all 50 foot?
Yes.
Okay. They're backing and stacking, that's fine, there's no problem with that. But if they're not here to represent themselves or have a representative to talk to us and answer some questions, and I'm not interested in moving forward with it. Do I hear a motion on anything?
I'll motion to table it.
I'll second.
We have a motion to table, we have a second, we have a vote. Let's have a vote. All in favor for the table, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? We tabled it. Next one, next item. Out of frustration, like me. Item number 6, ZBA 22-24, 290 West 37th Street, 37th Street, McCrory subdivision, single-member District 2, Tom Thompson. A request for approval of a variance from Section 501.A of the zoning ordinance to allow an existing abstract 0.973 acre parcel to be split into 2 lots of 22,547, that square feet?
Yes, sir.
0.19 square feet and 17,967.86 square feet in the rural estate R&E zoning district. Is this yours also, Sherry?
It is.
All right.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. These 2 lots are actually existing abstract pieces of property. They did come in to the Planning Commission to rezone, and that was denied by the Planning Commission. I'll go over that in just a moment. But as you indicated, they are 0.973 acres, almost an acre, the 2 together. But the 2 together are independent abstracts. They've always been handled or sold as 2 different abstracts. This is in District 2, Mr. Thompson's district, Riverside neighborhood, zoning is rural and estate. We did notify 12 adjoining property owners. We received no responses in support or against this. I wanted to let you see where this property is located. This is one of the largest rural and estates R&E areas that's not had a lot of incursion into it by other zoning districts. And that was the reason that the Planning Commission held to the R&E zoning, and they, at the end of that action, suggested that the applicant come in and asked for a variance. There are a number of lots around this property, and let me go back to the notification. There are a number of lots just east of that notification area where all of those abstract lots, all of those are under the 1 acre. So it's not unusual in this area to be less than 1 acre, but most of them are around 1/4 of an acre or a little less.
They're around 1/4 of an acre?
Just in that area, yes. That by abstract, they have been described and sold in the past. The reason why I'm bringing this forward, as you can see, there is on Ogden Street, there is a minor arterial that's in the future thoroughfare plan. That is the red road there that will go alongside this piece of property. And normally an arterial is 80 feet in width for the maximum size minor arterial. Very minimum width would be 68. However, what we have up there is a number of properties that have homes that are at 25-foot setback along that or less than that. They're older homes in most cases, or they're larger piece of property that have developed over time. Most of them on there are abstract descriptions, even at this point in time. So when talking to the applicant about whether or not this minor arterial, even though it's in our thoroughfare plan, was a good plan for this area, particularly because of the layout and the way that it has some turns in it that normally we would not necessarily want. We would want more of a straight shot when we're doing a connection, because the intent was to carry it from the rodeo and the Coliseum when they were letting people out over to either Chadbourn or to Lakeview to get people out and away from the area. But over the time, development has occurred along there that would make it expensive, and a number of properties would be affected. So staff agreed with the applicant that we would take a look at the thoroughfare plan for this area, and if we're going to align it in a different way or we're going to remove it, we would do so, but that would be in the future. So because of that, when we looked at this, we believe that this applicant is under special circumstances because without the variant, the applicant would not be allowed to use the existing lots that historically have been there and been there for a long time. We also looked at the existing lots in the area and felt that what the applicant is asking for is not out of balance with everything else that has occurred along Ogden and that has occurred in that particular area down right there. Across the street is RS1, which is why they originally asked for the rezoning. And we felt granting the variance will not adversely affect the adjacent homes because many of them are in the same kind of situation as this applicant. So again, we felt this was within the pattern of development for that area. So staff is recommending that we approve the request with one condition. So bear with me on this because it's going to take me a little bit. As you can see, they have dedicated on that left-hand side or the west side of the property an additional 10-foot, which would make the width of Ogden meet the requirement for a local road. What staff is asking for is a 30-foot no-build area to be shown on the plat and an additional 25-foot setback. That in the case that the minor arterial was dropped, they would be able to come back and have that removed. But at this point, we don't know that that's going to occur, and so we would like that dedication to show on that Lot 1 with the agreement that we are going to look at the minor arterial designation for that site and maybe bring it back for review. So staff is recommending approval of the request with that condition for that Lot 1. We do feel that the abstract definition for both of those lots has been there a long enough time. They've each been sold independently in the past, and so this is in keeping with what their original design was. Are there any questions?
Any questions for Sherry?
I do. On the picture, it looks like there's a house on Lot 1 already.
Yes, it's an old family home. It's probably 80 years old.
What are they wanting to do? I mean, if there's already a house on it, what does replatting it and putting a 30-foot setback have to do with the
Because
house?
the gentleman that now owns it inherited those two pieces of property. So the one with the one house on it is going to be sold as part of the agreement on the inheritance. That's going to be sold, and then they would like to develop the other lot that really has not been developed in any way, shape, or form.
So the 30-foot setback
Wouldn't even
doesn't
pertain
infringe
to
on that
what
house
this
that's
is.
currently there?
It does not.
Okay.
What we have asked for, the 30-foot and the 25-foot, the 55 feet still will not, it will give the existing house about 10-foot separation from that
Okay.
side lot setback.
Okay.
Which lot has the house on it?
One, yes.
Yeah, and I can go back to that zoning map. It does have it on that map if you want to see that.
Are you keeping it ranch and estates?
We're keeping it ranch and estates, yes. There, you can see that second lot, there is an existing house on that lot.
Any more questions?
So did you say, Sherry, or did I not hear right? Are they going back to have that rezoned, the
No,
area itself?
no, they went to have it rezoned, and it was denied by the planning commission. It's going to stay R&E. But planning commission said, come in and ask for a variance because you have good grounds to do
Gotcha.
that.
Okay. Just want to make sure I heard that
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, me too. Have any public comment? Is the applicant here?
About 1,000 with this.
About 1,000.
All right. Any more questions for Sherry? Board? Any board comments on this? If there be none, can we have a motion?
I'll move that we accept as is.
Motion to approve. It's got a second. Let's go to the vote. All in favor as is, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? No. Passes 7-0. Thank you, Sherry. You get to rest now? I do. Yeah. All right, item number 7, ZBA 22-256318 Ranch Lane, Single Member District 1, Tommy Hebert. A request for a variance from section 501 to allow maximum floor area ratio of 1,376 square feet or 51% in lieu of the allowed 1,070 square feet or 40% within the single-family residential RS1 zoning district located at 6318 Ranch Lane.
Hello, this is Ray Lineberry, planner, and it is 6318 Ranch Lane. As you can see, I've kind of marked where they're going to add it, and it is 0.473 acres, District 1, Country Club neighborhood, and it is zoned RS1. So this is the site plan the applicant provided. They already have a wood shed. It's kind of a living room at the moment, and they want to add on, and it's kind of going to be a mother-in-law suite. So they want to kind of give her a bedroom, and they already have their 40% with the 2 sheds. So adding on, it would bring them up to 51% instead of 40. Are you okay if I move on, Gary? I know you're looking.
Yeah, what's at lot 14?
Sorry.
I guess there's a house at lot 14 there. Right?
Yes,
Okay.
lot 14 is a separate house.
Okay.
These are some of the pictures of the backyard, just to give you an idea of how large their backyard is. And this is from, let me go back. I keep hitting the wrong button. So the next picture is taken from this shed over here to show you that it's going to be next to this shed right here. So it's going right there. And there is a 5-foot setback next to the fence and everything, which is required. We sent out 14 notices and received 1 in support, none in opposition. The only way for this to happen if they did not receive this variance is if they were to add on to the main house to increase that square footage, then it would increase their maximum floor ratio. And in order to do that, there is a porch, if you can see, back there that they would have to tear up in order to add on to the house.
What now? Sorry. The back porch had to do what?
If they were to add more square footage to their house, they would have to tear up the porch that is currently there to add more square footage to their house. So allowing 10% more, 11% more floor area ratio than the required 40% will allow the applicant to add on to the storage building. Granting the variances will not adversely affect any of the adjacent homes. And it does protect the character and established pattern of the development in each area. The surrounding houses, there was quite a few in that area that called up and asked questions. And they're like, oh yeah, I had to get one. We do have 2 others in the area. Let me go back. Oops. So this one, 407, 45407, and 45420. Also have a variance that was granted in 2017 was one of them, and 2018 was the other one.
Same type of variance?
Yes. Yes. So staff is recommending approval to allow the 51% instead of the 40%. And the applicant is present if you have any questions.
Well, I have one question. This is your first presentation in front of this board.
No, actually, this is my second. You were not here for my first.
Oh, did I? Oh, okay. Well, I was fixing to say you've done a great job. I like that. No, you're not acting nervous or anything. I'd be up there blubbering.
Well, we actually fixed the mics. My first one, I had to stand like this to get to the mic.
Did you? They didn't give you a box to stand on or anything?
I mean, it'd be nice.
Yeah, all right, all right. Let's see, let's have public comment, or hold on before we do that. I'm jumping the gun, aren't I? Any questions for Ray from the board? No, none?
You said they're building a mother-in-law suite
Yeah.
added on to that woodshed?
Yeah, the woodshed already is a living room, and so they're gonna add on a bedroom and I think a bathroom, because they can't have a kitchen.
What's the dotted line?
That's where the fence, that's the 5 foot before the fence.
Oh, okay.
You can't have a kitchen in a mother-in-law suite?
You can't have, you can only have either a bathroom or a kitchen. Otherwise, it'll be a second dwelling.
What about a bathroom?
You can have one or the other. Either a kitchen only and no bathroom, or a bathroom and no kitchen.
On a mother-in-law suite?
She don't need to eat.
We'll give her a bucket to go. Okay. All right. Are there more questions for Ray? Huh?
No?
Thank you, Ray. Public comment. We have the applicant here. Want to speak to this? Please state your name.
Yes, sir. My name is Chris Hieronyma, and I live at that address.
Welcome,
And
Chris.
I appreciate y'all listening and giving me an opportunity to speak. The additional area where it says new, it's not a mother-in-law suite, it's gonna be a mother suite. My mother's the one that's gonna move in. And this will allow her some additional privacy and allow her to reside close to us. For the amount that it's gonna take to add that addition to our property is something that she can afford. She's taught 50 years, she's in West Odessa by herself. There's 2 siblings. I have a sister and myself. My sister lives in Colorado. There's absolutely no way in the world she can live in Colorado at the price of what it is. She's 75 years old. She's still mobile, but as time goes, she won't be able to. This will allow her quality of life to be so much greater. It will allow us to be able to take care of her and for her to be right there with us. And emotionally, I plead to y'all that this will greatly improve and qualify her life so much better. It'll allow us an opportunity to have 1 payment and 1 taxes, 1 yard to keep up with, 1 yard maintenance, 1 house maintenance, stuff like that. It greatly improves my life also in that I'm not driving across town. For the price of what it will take to add that additional footage, she can't buy anything even on the north side of town that's dilapidated. Like they were saying, the other option was for me to add additional square footage to my house to allow for additional square footage for her freedom. The idea of her having a separate residence or separate, quarters outside of our residence allows for her independence and her privacy. And she's a very independent woman in herself. But to reside in our home is not even an option. And this has been several years in the making for her to reach a place of emotion to where she could leave her residence of 40 years in Odessa to move here. And she still wants to hold on to that independence. But do y'all have any specific questions for me?
I don't. Very noble.
Okay. I certainly appreciate it. Thank y'all so much.
Aaron, does that require a permit to be pulled for that?
Yes.
That's
And I
part of
think
the requirement of the
Yeah, and I
approval?
think that's why he came to us to get permits, and they noticed it was over the floor area ratio,
I
so
see,
they brought
okay.
him
So
here.
then, so
Yeah.
you're still gonna pull permits for it?
It's been like a 3-month process already. Just so y'all know.
Yes.
And just so y'all know, we would much rather have a bathroom than a kitchen.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like Meals on Wheels across the backyard, she's gonna take a nap. Thank y'all.
What constitutes a kitchen?
An oven stove.
Okay,
Count
so
that.
if you put a sink and a microwave, yeah, 22. Okay, good to know.
Yep.
Does the plug trigger it or the range that you put in with the plug?
That's a building question.
I used to know that one, that's an old one. The garage apartment thing and all that, it's coming back in some other parts of the world, country. All right, okay, I digress.
I'll make a motion.
Make a motion, let's have a motion.
I'll second.
Motion to approve, sorry, my bad ear. Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve as is. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Passes 7-0. Thank you, Ray.
Awesome.
You bet. Good luck. That doesn't mean she can't have a microwave, right? Hot plate. Refrigerator? One, okay. Oh, yeah. All right. Moving right along. Where am I, 8? Yep. I'm not past 8 yet? Oh my gosh. Item number 8, ZBA 22-26, 2662 Kings Road, Single Member District 1. Tommy Hebert. A request for a variance from section 501 to allow a 16-foot front yard setback in lieu of a 25-foot setback requirement within the single-family residential RS1 zoning district located at 2662 Kings Road. And Ray, you're presenting again?
I am.
All right.
So this next one is on 2662 Kings Road. It's .259 acres. It's in District 1, it's Nasworthy neighborhood, and it's RS1 single-family zoning. I'm going to leave it on this picture for a second because I do want to point out that the current house that is there on the property is planning on being demoed, and they're building a new one. So it's the new house that will have the garage will be 16 foot back instead of 25 foot. And you can also see in this picture that the property is at an angle, and there are other properties around at an angle. So there are others similar, and I don't know what just happened. Oh. It does not like something. I don't know, I'm looking at the computer, and the computer looks fine. I didn't do anything. I promise.
It's his stuff, I'll let him touch it. It's probably the cable.
There it went. Okay.
Just have to touch it. Magic man.
So this is the site plan for the new house, and the next slide, I have it zoomed in. So you can see that right here is the 16-foot, this corner to this part of the property line. The rest is 20-foot, 24-foot, and 21-foot. So this is the shortest part right here at this angle. And it's just the garage that is at the 16-foot. And we mailed out 14 notices. We received 1 in support. They also provided a copy of the homeowners association approval. So they did get approval from the homeowners association. The lot is at a diagonal cut, which causes half the garage to be at a 20-foot, 16-foot at the one spot from the front yard property line instead of the 25-foot. There are other houses on the street that have similar issues. It will not adversely affect any of the adjacent homes. And it does protect the character and established pattern of the development area. So staff is recommending approval to allow the 16-foot setback instead of the 25-foot required.
Is the house next door, did they get the same it looked closer, the picture.
And 2 doors down, it's the same.
So, yeah. Goes the right of way over there.
This one?
Yeah, that one there.
Yeah. Yeah.
That one, did they have to get a special approval?
It did,
Yeah,
and
it looked
it
like
was
it.
approved.
The right of way over there is, what? 25, 50?
It's kind of varies.
It doesn't matter. I don't have any problem
The
with
issue
it.
is the crookedness of the lot.
Yeah, I don't have any problem. No, I'm good.
Are there any
I
questions for
ask it
staff?
like I'm gonna really remember it next time.
Does it stick out, will it stick out farther than the neighbors or
No.
sit back farther?
Based on the site plan and everything they gave us, no, it will be about what the neighbors has.
Only condition I have is they have to invite us out during the summer to go. It's pretty area. Yeah, yeah. It's pretty. Oh, here we go again. Any comments, any questions? For right, is the applicant here?
Yes.
Well, step right on up. Yeah, join the fun. No, y'all both come up. Wow, have a good time. Yes. Y'all state your names.
Gary Floyd, speaking on behalf of the property owner, Miss Karen Goodson.
Hi, Gary. What is your name, man?
Karen Goodson.
Hi, Karen. Welcome.
Thank you.
You excited?
Very excited.
Now, is it gonna happen, right? What I said at the end, after it's done, you're gonna invite us out?
That can happen. That can happen.
Yeah, okay.
That's
All
what
right.
we're wanting to do this for, is to enjoy and have people out to enjoy it with us. So-
There you go. Well, you got a good builder there. He can handle it.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. We've been impressed.
All right, any questions for that?
I do, actually. So, looking at the picture, it looks like the driveway sort of is on the right side right now?
Correct.
So you're gonna move it over to the left side?
Correct, we're trying to utilize as much space with the light, with the extreme angles. So we're trying to get everything stacked up there because a lot of the issue there is also, you're talking about right of way, it's a pretty narrow street through there. So we're trying to keep all on-street parking, trying to get everybody funneled in and get enough driveway to keep people off the streetway, because it is, it's almost impassable when you have one vehicle out there.
More questions? All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Good luck. All right. Someone make a motion?
I'll make a motion
To what?
to approve.
With my condition? I'm trying.
We'll just show up.
All right, we'll just show up, all right.
I'll second.
Motion to approve is this.
I'll second.
Got a second? All right, let's have the vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any nays? All right, passes 7-0. Next one, you bet. Next one item, is this the last one?
It is.
And let's see, in my Roman numeral, that's number 9, right? Wow, my math teacher would be proud of me. ZBA 22-27 SAISD Properties, 4617 Blums, Single Member District Number 2. Tom Thompson, a request for variance is to comply with the newly enacted Texas School Safety Center and TEA mandates, I love mandates, which require the fencing to be provided on or as close to the property lines and taller than 6 feet in some sections. Here we go.
Okay, Planning and Development Services, as you said, this is the existing Lakeview High School campus. The entire campus is 62 acres. It does have an existing fence. This campus was developed in 1923, much prior to the existing neighborhood. There is an existing fence around many of the portions of the school that's 6 feet at or close to the property line. They want to replace that to come into compliance. And so when they come into compliance with new regulations or new fencing or new structures, they have to meet the new regulations, which is the 25-foot setback along streets with a 4-foot maximum height for chain link. And in this case, again, they're removing and replacing existing fences, not to exceed 8 feet, but around the entire campus. Again, it's 62 acres developed as a campus. You do see this, TEA just recently passed regulations to require that the fences, as you mentioned, be much higher and up to 8 feet. I'll go through some pictures here the applicant submitted. As you can see here, this is a rough, when we met with them, this is a rough proposal. So whenever they come in to submit, if approved, when they come and submit the new building permits, we'll require a larger aerial view of the entire campus and showing us where the locations will be. Just some more images. And as you can see, when I get here, I'll explain it, but the condition is, one of the concerns fire has is making sure the gates are wide enough and accessible, et cetera. So the only condition is to get any required building permits and meet requirements of the fire department at that time. As you can see, some of the fences here are dilapidated, need to be repaired and replaced. Here are some images staff took, just showing you the view. It's not going to be much different, except for height, really, than what you see there, and it will be chain link as well. So the site visibility issue will not become a problem due to that you can see through the chain link openings.
So the new fence is gonna be where the old fence is?
Approximately, yes. In most cases, it's 10 feet. In one case, I believe on the south side, it could be as little as 5 feet. But they exist currently, at least in some portions, along each one of those property lines. And just some more images showing the existing fencing. Sent out notifications. We did receive 3 in favor, all of which were SAISD. None of the neighbors responded in opposition. That star you see in the upper right-hand corner, I believe is leftover from a previous map. As you can see, they're not in the notification there. Again, the variance is requested, unnecessary hardship and special circumstance come into compliance. And again, it's a campus setting. Staff is going to look at making changes allowing this type of development, fencing required around schools, colleges, hospitals, et cetera. No adverse effects on the surrounding neighborhood. It was reviewed pursuant to Chapter 5 of the zoning ordinance, and it meets all the requirements there within. Staff is recommending approval, and I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Any questions?
So on the one picture you were showing us with the yellow marks where the fence was going up and around the parking lot, that's not existing fence in those areas?
No, sir. Those are some proposed changes, I believe, and the applicant is here. And so when we met with them for a consult,
that's all going to be new fence?
That will be new fence. The existing fences exist closer to the street here. So this was just to show us to make sure, I think to get fire department's approval and everybody else's, just to make sure it wasn't violating anything else. Again, it was included in the packet of what was submitted for our consultation. So I just included those. Again, they could build it to height. They just have to meet the conditions that the fire department may require. This was to give us an idea of what they plan on doing.
So this is a safety thing, right?
Correct.
Crash bars and wrought iron.
Correct.
No barbed wire.
No barbed wire.
What triggered this?
The applicant, I believe, is here to speak. TEA and another education authority passed new regulations to require the securing of campuses.
Shooters.
So this will be the first of many from the area?
So the applicant did submit a request for others. staff thinks that due to the amount of requests coming, that cases like this, we ought to take a proposed ordinance or an ordinance change as opposed to variance cases for 50 different campuses.
Because I can just see this now. We'll have every school in town
Yep.
here very
Right.
soon.
Problem, yeah.
Well, it'd be my time to get even.
So there will be an issue, and that's why we're taking an ordinance change to address future concerns.
Teaching to flunk me.
I don't have a problem.
Okay, thank you.
40 years ago, I don't care you're being dead. And I'm lying on 40. It's more like 50, but, all right, here we go. Does the representative want to get up and speak?
Only if you all have questions.
Well, come on up. Man, tell you what, see, you're not alone, brother.
There you go.
Yeah.
My name's Jason Henry. I'm the Director of Purchasing, and this was all spurred on by the recent shooting in Uvalde, and the Texas School Safety Center and the governor have come down with these mandates, which, you know, we all love. And right now, the fence heights they're still in the question and answer phase, but we've been instructed that they are pretty much a done deal. So we're looking to try and make sure that we bring all our fences up to the 8-foot mark. Most of the places right now, we have them fenced in. We went ahead and brought the Lakeview one because it was the most concerning one because we don't have it fenced in completely. So we're gonna start with that, and then Zach's gonna help us get a ordinance change.
So it'll just be 8 feet? Like
On
the wind, I think it's 10
our
feet.
plan is to do 8 foot on all the peripheral on the sides and the back and do chain link. And then anything that is forward facing, we're gonna try to do 6-foot wrought iron to make it look a little bit better.
That was around that parking lot where you were, where that was.
The parking lot, the front-facing parking lot, it had wrought iron going around it, and then it connects to, on the side there, it connects to a 8-foot chain link.
This is the first one?
This is the first one.
Okay. How many you gonna have to do?
Right now, I have bids and pricing on 5 different campuses. 2 of them are little small things. Probably the next biggest one that we were concerned about is Bonham. And it's just gonna be a 1-for-1. We're gonna unfortunately pull up the fence where it's at and then just make it taller and put it right there.
Any questions? No? Thank you, sir.
All right, thank you all.
All right. Any comments? We need to talk about it. Someone make a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve.
There's a motion to approve. A second?
Second.
There's a second. Let's have a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? No. Passes 7-0.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, ma'am.
could I be heard for a moment? The applicant representative for the first item that was on the agenda is here, and she would like a chance to talk with you for a little bit and to answer any questions you might have.
The one we tabled?
Yep.
Yes.
Hi, Erica. I saw you walk in. I was wondering if that's what it was. No.
Hey,
Either one day.
Mr.
Maybe
Chairman.
fashionably late, but I mean, come on now. Step on up.
Well, hey,
Hold
Mr.
on,
Chair,
hold on a second.
since we did table it and have passed, let's do a motion to untable it, to reconsider the item, have that pass, and then y'all can open it up for discussion.
I will make a motion to untable it.
I will second it.
And then we can.
Board comments? Does everybody want to agree with that? Hold on a second.
Because we can untable it, we can discuss it, and then if we want to table it again, we can do that. It's just untabling it so we can have the discussion.
Okay, we have a motion to untable. Let's have a vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? No opposed. All right.
Can we flip the pictures back around, Sherry?
I can.
Just so as she talks, we can see? There we go.
There we
Familiar?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, I first want to apologize again for being late. I appreciate y'all letting me go ahead and get this one through, so.
Now you know the rules. Just state your name.
Yes, Erica Wilde with Carter Fentress Engineering, representing the applicants for Shriners Point. So I'm really here just to answer any questions or have a further discussion. I wasn't here for the original part, so I guess there was some additional information needed.
Did you hear our comments? Were you listening to it at all?
No.
No,
I
it's
was-
not broadcast.
No, but you get it on the internet, can't you?
No.
It's not on YouTube, right? It will be posted on YouTube afterwards.
We're not live.
It's centered around lot 15 coming down Bloom, and then lot 12 on those two odd ones out of the whole corner.
Right.
They were trying to understand how the triangle would work, but they also had questions if there's actually utilities proposed there at a 10-foot utility easement. They were trying to make sure that they weren't going to allow something to be built in an easement, and they just had some
Right.
questions in
Okay.
what size house might actually be built there.
So these are smaller homes, right around 1,300, 1,500 square foot home. The purpose of requesting this is, well, quite frankly, there's a lot of intersections and the way the connections are that you have to make and the way that the lot is shaped. There's quite a few intersections that were just eating up a lot of the property. So this is why the request was made. Any utilities will be within the dedicated easements, but so the setbacks, no buildings will be, of course, be able to be built within those utilities.
I think that was his question, is where are the dedicated easements?
The lines, the dashed lines are the dedicated easements around the property line.
Is that a 10-foot?
Yes. So we would have to make adjustments of the utilities on the plat. I guess I see what you're saying because we're asking for a 5-foot
Yeah, you're asking for a 5-foot.
variance on those lots and the utility easement is 10 foot. So we would make that adjustment on the final plat.
You'd want to go a 10-foot, right?
Yes, on those sides. Can't build
So
anything in that
Why
anyways.
is 5 foot in here? That's just a question.
That would be my mistake.
Oh. So it's going to be 10 feet?
Yes.
Which is normal.
And
So
to
you're
be
not-
fair, we didn't catch that either as we were going through it.
10 feet in lieu of the 25 foot.
All right.
Yes.
That's okay. That corner lot, number 22, let's see, where are we again? We're on 22 now. Where's Blum Street?
Right in front of
Right.
you. So we were talking about 15, 16, where you were asking about that triangle that
15,
would affect
16, okay.
16's backing out.
Okay, Blum Street's right there, coming in. What do you think the traffic count's gonna be when it's fully developed there, Erica?
I could not say that.
There's
I have not
130
studied
lots in
it.
there?
Yes, sir.
Just one way in right now?
For phase one, once it builds out, it'll have 2.
It doesn't concern you at all, the line of sight right there on 22 and 15?
It didn't because I've seen these being done all around, so that didn't really catch my attention or worry me anyway.
Yeah. Oh, a lot of traffic coming in and out of there. So they can build, you want 22 and 15, I'm just starting on those two. Coming off Blum, only one way in and one way out at the moment. And for the foreseeable future, they could build the width of the house to that 10-foot easement, side easement.
Right, and then 25 foot off the front off the front one.
25 off the front, which is this one here. So you're not gonna let them put the driveway in the radius, the driveway will be over here more than.
Yes, yes, sir.
Mr. Chairman?
Or a side. I'm sorry, I'm just making sure.
I need you in front of the mic, please.
She
I
can't
was
hear you.
carrying a one-on-one conversation with the
I know, I'm trying to broaden it for the rest of us.
This was a sidebar. just to make sure I got it correct.
Yes, that's
And
correct.
we're correct on this.
Yes, sir.
So, but right now,
Gary, take it with you. There you go.
right now, what we have on a building purposes on 22, I'm just on 22, is 25 feet to build on?
Yes,
Okay. And that's taking off the 5 feet from this side?
yes.
Okay. That's not very big, is it?
No, it's going to be a small home
Why'd you draw it that way?
because the applicant requested me to draw it that way.
Oh, okay. And so over here on this one, you've got nothing, there'll be a street here
Yes, eventually.
eventually?
Yes, this will be, this will all be
Same setup.
phased
Okay.
out.
So over here, you've got your 25 here, and then you want 10 here? Get
Right.
this back?
Right. Anyway, the lots are facing, the way the lots are facing, that's where we want the 25-foot, and then the side, what would be the side lot would be the 10-foot.
Not just 15.
15
Just
and,
15
15 and 22.
No.
All the corners. The triangles are on 15 and 16 and wherever else.
Right, the triangle is on 15 so that 16 can back out.
Yes.
It's on lot 15 and lot 12.
Yeah.
Not that 12, but yeah, block
Oh,
6.
so I was like, I'm not understanding
No,
why that
no,
would be on
no.
lot 12 right there.
I know, I was confused too. I was like,
Again,
Different block.
yes,
Yeah.
different block.
Okay.
They're widely spaced, which was the problem getting it zeroed in, and I apologize. That's my fault.
So when you move on back here on this main street, the cars gonna be coming in and out. We'll have the same situation there, 10 feet, so the houses will be over.
Right, they'll all be in,
10 feet away from the road.
right, they'll all be aligned. Well, it'll be 14 and a half foot away from the road.
So that'll give
Ms.
us
Wilde, on that, we see Blum Street goes north and south, the two east and west streets, is that where your utilities are going to be? And on Blum Street, will they be on both sides? My question is really on Lot 1 and Lot 22.
They'll be on both sides. So we'll
Okay,
have
there
one
still
on
will be
one
a 10
side, sewer on one side, water on the other.
There will be a 10-foot easement?
Yes.
Okay.
And the actual back of curbs are offset from the property lines 4.5 feet, so 14.5 feet from the road.
So if there's a fence, it's going to be right there,
10 feet off the street.
yeah, 10 feet off the street.
Yes.
So after, if you use the 10 foot as your building line on the side, that gives them 40 feet to build on? 40 feet wide?
Did I
Yes.
say that wrong, Sherry?
No, you said that.
Erica, if I could.
Yes.
Don, could you repeat what you asked?
I said that means if there's a fence, it's going to be within that, what, 4 foot?
No, it has to stay at the 10-foot
Easement.
easement.
You can build a
So
fence
it'll be
over
on
an
top of
easement.
the utilities.
No? Will it be
No, it's
40?
not gonna be on
It'll
top of the
easement, and then
utilities.
There'll be the fence line,
Well,
so that
Right.
there's still the
stated that way on the
10-foot
plat.
plus.
You can build over an easement.
We would be
Right.
glad to state it on the plat if that would help.
So they'll have,
I got you.
yeah, it's
I
movable.
got you.
It's movable.
So on here, it says to approve a request for a 5-foot setback on the second street frontage.
That's actually 10
But with
foot.
the easements, it should be 10 feet.
Yes.
So we're not voting on 5 feet, we're voting
No,
on
I'm
10 feet.
sorry, that was my mistake. It was 10 feet side setback.
Was that on all 20?
Yes,
Or just on the ones on Bloom Street?
all of them with the side street, it'll be 10 feet.
Okay.
So, I can't read this. What, next here, how wide is this lot?
50 feet.
It's 50 feet, yeah.
The
So
50
it's
by
a
100.
40-foot wide house that you put there.
Mhm.
So you're actually ending up getting a 40-foot wide house when you move everything over.
Correct.
It's kind of like those patio homes up by the elementary school.
Yeah, it has that effect, but it's allowed.
Do we have to make a motion to move from 5 to 10 feet?
Yes, I would want that in,
Okay.
because it was advertised at the
Correct.
5 foot. So yes.
That's the way those are up there.
Well, I'm going to make a motion to change from 5 foot to 10-foot setback.
I'll second it.
Have a motion to change from 5 to 10?
Well, and that's actually, I mean, so the motion says or the setback.
But to
I just
10.
was going ahead, I was just thinking I would go ahead and just do that for right now.
Doesn't it have to be
Yeah, I think
changed
we
from
need to
5 foot
just-
to 10 foot before it can be approved?
No.
Oh, okay. I thought maybe it had to be as read to be approved.
Yeah, so if y'all wanted to do, say, a less than 5-foot setback, I would probably say we couldn't do it at this meeting because of the way it's advertised, but if you're making it more, I think you're okay. And so I think the motion should just be to approve it, but
Okay.
specify the 10-foot,
Okay.
yes.
Gotcha.
Well, I will make a motion to approve and specify a 10-foot setback.
I haven't called for the motion yet. I'm thinking, and that takes me a moment. First, I gotta learn how to spell think. Erica, they, tell me that 25-foot side setback is a code from 1957.
Correct.
I didn't know it went back that far. They made a comment about getting it changed.
Yes, sir.
What would there be an idea setback for a side yard like that?
I would say 10 foot.
10 foot on the side?
Yes, sir. That would be my
On a 25
recommendation.
On a 25-foot front setback?
Yes.
I could see it on a 30-foot setback. 25, you're getting a little close. But, you know, if that front the problem I'm having is the traffic coming in and out of there for these 22 and 15. There'd be a lot of traffic coming in and out of there. Line of sight. Plant a tree, there goes the line of sight again. Plant shrubbery, and there goes line of sight again.
So the total setback for vision purposes of those lights would end up literally being 35 feet, correct? With the 25-foot setback plus the 10-foot easement on that corner.
No, it'll be 25
On
feet.
15.
Oh, no,
Maybe
it's
15.
just the 10-foot setback and the 10-foot easement would all be
The-
one.
Oh, I thought,
You have a 4.5 foot right of way.
But you have a 4.5-foot right-of-way before you get to the property line.
here. Yeah, here.
So what happened to your 25-foot site triangle?
yeah, where's the 25-foot coming from?
The site triangle would be
All your side.
in the
by
corner.
ordinance, if there's not an alley back behind there, all your side yards have to be 25 feet. I didn't know it was a 1957 ordinance, but, so any corner lots without an alley, you gotta have 25-foot setback. They won't come back to 10. Your front setback's 25 feet, they come here with a fence, over, whatever they wanna do, that's fine, I don't care, but this is gonna be a high traffic area. And go plant a tree, go plant shrubbery, go do whatever you want to, and as a landscaping thing, you gotta, you make your line of sight even worse.
So,
I'm surprised planning's going for this, really.
so this on map
On
right
that,
here
on that scenario, we got that all over town, with trees blocking stop signs and all kinds of things.
this automatically and this automatically have site triangles no matter what, whether there's an alleyway or not.
How's
There's
that?
not an alleyway here.
How's that? Explain that to me.
That's in our zoning ordinance, that wherever two streets come together, there's a 30-foot or 25-foot site triangle that starts at a point here, goes 25 feet in the diagonal. And nothing higher than
3 feet.
3 feet.
can be in there. Now, there are places that have that, and that's a code compliance issue. So when we have complaints, whether it's operations or somebody else goes out and has to deal with that. What we're saying is back here.
Yeah, I'm not worried about that. I'm okay with
For
that right
that, so that these can back out
Yeah.
and turn and go.
there.
Your question is, when someone's coming here to turn here,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Is there a
or something,
25-foot
does
site?
that,
Well, you're gonna be able to build to within 10 feet of the back of the curb.
No,
no.
you
15
can't build,
wouldn't,
you have,
because
the,
you got 4.5
the back of the
feet.
curb is
Right.
4.5 foot from the
Okay,
property
15 feet
line.
from back of the curb.
Yeah. That's not unusual, but if you look at our downtown area, that's not unusual in our community.
Well, it is a problem.
It can be a problem.
It
can
is
be
a problem. It's bad planning for high egress areas. Ted Brown's turning over in his grave right now. Of course, y'all don't know who Ted Brown is. But, that's bad. That's a potential problem for traffic. And, you know, all this stuff about battles we've been in over the past about safety issues and sidewalks and all that stuff, and you wanna come out there and put something that's gonna block
But,
the line of
but are
sight.
they, that's what, my question was, is in that line of sight, that's the concerning part, is, you can't put anything over 3-4 foot?
Right.
Is that what they just said?
That's correct.
Within those so many feet?
3
So
feet.
nothing can be put in or built that's over the height of 3 feet?
Remember that tree that blocked the
I
stop
live in
sign?
Santa Rita,
That
I
grew up-
know.
that blocked that stop sign for 30 years?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's still blocked.
but I knew it was there, so
Yeah.
it's fine.
Mr. Chairman, would you suggest a further setback than 10 feet? Does an additional 2.5 feet?
Well, if I was here battling on the other side, I'd say I have a plan that would fit that I only need X amount of room for that particular area. You know, 40 feet, 35 feet, whatever. It's 40 feet now, you're gonna give them 40 feet. It'll be a 40-foot building area, right?
Yeah.
So I'd have a plan of some sort, a floor plan of some sort to fit those two lots to take care of the line of sight. It's gonna be a problem. That is a problem. You're gonna have a fence all the way down, all the way down, what would you say, 14 and a half feet from the back of the curb?
Yes, sir.
You know, I mean, it's just, you got a line of sight problem there for a busy intersection. That will be a busy intersection. I hope it's a busy intersection.
Is that the main entry?
Yeah, that's the main entry, but it ties down at the bottom. And we're doing it in phases.
And I said just 2 cars to man and wife, and teenagers have cars, so you're talking 130 lots, you're talking a lot of cars coming in and out there.
What is,
Hey, I'm just one vote.
what is the other option?
Well, like I said, if the builder was here or whoever, and they said, we'll have a plan of special plan, we don't need the full 40, we need 35, or we got an offset, we can offset our plan to make it that area right there where you can see coming in and out. When you hit that stop sign, or the other direction.
Aren't we essentially,
You're gonna let a fence on this one go up to here, you pull up here.
No, no,
No.
Yeah, you got that triangle that comes back
No.
30 feet.
no.
No,
It's
see,
gonna
it's
go
gonna come back at an
along
angle,
this.
and then it's gonna go down, and then it's still gonna have the 25 feet.
No,
So
the
there's,
triangle is this,
No,
here over, back down, isn't it?
no,
No.
that's a property
For
line.
16?
No,
No, that's,
No.
yes, that's a site,
like, will you,
that's
do
the
you-
site triangle that,
there's not a site triangle on a property
Well,
that's
the
not in the
building
corner.
line to within 14 feet of the back of the curb.
I think that's where he's
This
having-
is the main street here, coming in and out, that's the way you're in and out.
would you be interested if, depending on who makes a motion, of a motion that has something that says no structure or fence can go in that setback?
no.
I'm
Is that what
confused,
your question is?
I'm just confused about lot 16 having a site triangle. I thought site triangles went on lots that were at an intersection.
It
Erica,
doesn't make it
What was
right.
presented was,
What's been done before doesn't make it right. There's a planning, a line of sight at busy intersections.
Our
Right,
current
but
ordinance says a
16 is
25
not
site
at an
foot
intersection.
site
Current
triangle.
ordinance says 25 feet.
And that's at the corner of the street.
Yeah.
remember,
Now we're wanting to go back, right in here. The
yeah,
main-
remember
the main
when we,
egress.
he's fine with that.
I'm fine with that. But after you go back to this triangle here, how far back does this triangle go into this lot?
25.
It's a 25 foot.
Comes back this way, 25 feet.
We will
As
put,
a- as a
okay,
triangle.
so
Fence right here.
Mr.
we will,
Chairman,
no, we will put on the
No,
plat,
they can't put a fence up to 14
we
feet.
will put a note on the plat that no fences and no structures can be built past the building setback line.
On the side?
Yes.
Well, then if you let your house go, they won't be able to fence in their backyard.
Why would the house go over?
Well, because they need 40 feet
No, they'll make that, we'll make it, they'll have to make it work.
Huh?
They'll have to make it work with, they've seen the plat.
You're gonna tell them that they don't have a fence right here, and the rest of the back of the house gonna be right here? What's wrong? Those special conditions, when you're backing and stacking, you gotta take into consideration where the ingress and egress comes in. And they design a plan to where you don't need that whole area. But I know I've done it. I think about line of sight all the time on corn lots.
How many homes are you planning on doing in phase one?
12?
16, I think,
16.
which I need. Down.
So it's the back.
It's just the cul-de-sac road.
They could come up with something, 25-foot front and put a side entry garage on the back side and take care of that line of sight easily on an L-shaped type floor plan. That's just my concern. I'm only one vote. That is a concern. And it also concerns me that the easements aren't drawn on this preliminary plat.
The easements are drawn on the
easements,
preliminary
yeah,
plat.
They're the dotted lines.
That thing's fuzzy.
It is fuzzy.
It's a big plat to be on a small,
It is.
small image
That's
on
the
a
only.
That's what I was asking her to begin with, is she did state that the easements were the dotted lines.
Yeah, I can zoom in
Well, the-
And see them.
and
Yes.
see them, yes.
one of them didn't have the easement on it. It doesn't matter. That's fine. Like I said, I want to vote. Don't make a motion. Move
Are we ready to make a motion? Is that what you're saying, Gary? Were you ready?
So explain to me how you said that the motion needed to be made, if it's made to extend it to 10 feet versus the 5 feet?
So I think you would just make a motion to approve a 10-foot setback.
But we have to state that it's a 10-foot setback.
Yes.
Okay.
And you're only doing the
For
10-foot
every corner
setback
lot there,
for
right?
the
For the
20
20
corner
lots.
lots, not those two.
I will make a motion to approve a
Right.
10-foot setback on the specific 20 lots that are necessary. Quarter lots.
Have a motion? Do I hear a second?
And then on the two lots, are we doing the 25-foot
No.
site triangle or?
The no-build
yes,
site
Okay.
triangle. Yes.
Okay.
So that is included in my motion. Do
I hear a
I need to
second?
re-say it?
We got that.
Okay.
I'll second.
Got a second? All right. Go for the vote. Any comments? Public comments or any more comments about it before we go to a vote? All right. Let's go to the vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Nay for the chairman.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Erica.
6-1?
6-1. Division report.
We had nothing for you. We do have a meeting scheduled for next month. We just have one case so far. So hopefully it's a little lighter than this time. But we'll see. Nothing else other than that?
And we got to do something else about public comment. Is that on here?
Yes, it's next. Second page.
Public comment. I got to read it.
Yes, sir.
Same as last time. How's that work?
No.
Issues or concerns not on the regular agenda may be raised by the public at this time. Citizens should speak from podium, address all comments to the dais, and begin by stating their name and address or single-member district number. Please limit all remarks to less than 3 minutes. Anybody with the public comment? I recommend you get up there and talk about this side setback, and it's gonna get changed. We don't have to go through this.
I think Eric's throat's starting to hurt a little bit.
That's his recommendation, by the way. No public comment? Can I make a public comment?
Sure.
I'll make a public comment that we can work on getting that side setback changed. And it'd make it easier for people in Erica not have to lay the lots out and all that kind of thing. You don't have to go through this. What's a good number, 15? 15 feet?
And are we saying that that's on those, what we, in our ordinance, would consider double frontages, or I just want to make sure I'm looking at the right thing? Double frontages?
Well, y'all walk through the technical details of it. I'm just a side setback guy.
It
Okay.
makes it much easier from my experience. You had, with exterior side lots like this or corner lots, you had a front setback, a set setback, a side setback of, say, the fronts were more extensive, or say 25 foot, the side would be 15 just across the board. So it doesn't, there's no room for interpretation, stuff like that. I mean,
Is that what we just said? And then somebody said double frontages?
right.
So I'd have to explain a double frontage to me.
I know, we're just trying, we want to reduce the side.
Cities use lots at an intersection that's double frontage, so you have to have 25 and 25. But how it's been done in the past is, you know, seeing the front yard as where your driveway comes onto, and then the side yard as the other.
Right. Okay. So it can be worked out to put 15 on the side yard?
So,
Erica?
Yeah, like you said, if there's an ordinance in place that states what it is, and yes, you can go lower on a side setback on a double frontage, everybody has that finite number. It's lower than 25, so you're not holding them to the front setback. But there's a set number so that, like you said, we don't have to keep coming back with different numbers. People have different opinions of what they need and what really they can get by with. The 15 would make my job, and I believe y'all's job, or even if it's not 15, whatever number y'all decide. But to have double frontages have a lesser setback than 25 foot on the side yard.
Gotcha. Now, this double frontage concept, isn't it dead anyway because this lot's not deep enough to put a house? If you face the house that way?
Right.
Yeah, it's already a new point, isn't it?
Exactly.
That's why I was getting confused on what a double frontage was. It sounds like a commercial issue to me. You can even go car count or potential car count on some of this. Well, you just gotta think about it. As far as traffic coming in and out, and what people can plant, and, yeah, bless code enforcement, yeah, okay, well, tell them to move it, you know? There's more hassle there too. It makes people mad, code enforcement coming after them.
Have we got down to this point
Doesn't it?
I don't know, I live in Christoval.
Nobody wants that letter from, no one wants that letter from code enforcement. I mean,
Mr. Chairman?
But,
Mr.
yeah,
Chairman?
motion to adjourn?
No, just a correction, please. On the last item before adjournment, our next meeting will be the 6th, not the 7th. The 7th is Tuesday. Monday is the 6th. February 6th?
Instead of February 7th,
February 6th?
February 6th.
6?
Yes.
Let's do it on Valentine's Day.
And we'll have something at the Development Task Force meeting in March on setbacks.
Will you? What do you think the boss is gonna say about that?
Just say, let's do it.
No. Speaking
When I
for-
was speaking of past experience, he's the one that had a change from my past experience. So we've taken this before because it was an issue.
Well, it always has been an issue. I didn't know it went back to 57.
But Eric is right, that's what I was trying to say. A finite number gives the developers room to play with and numbers to work with as opposed to staff.
And that matches those types of
Yes, yeah. Yes, and when you're laying it out, even drawing it out. I don't mind backing and stacking subdivisions, I've done it myself, but it's a problem at some of those busy intersections. Thank you, Erica. You still like me, right?
Motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn. I hear a motion to adjourn, here a second? All in favor? Happy New Year, folks.